Greetings, peers and queers. Welcome back to another episode of Monday through Friday. My name is JC. Let's talk about an upcoming event here. Let's talk about the longest night of the year, the winter solstice. So, the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere is the longest day of night. I know that's an oxymoron, but it is the longest period of darkness throughout the whole year. After which, we can look forward to the returning of sunlight, the returning of light. How does this work? Well, in the northern hemisphere, on the 21st of December, we celebrate the winter solstice, otherwise known as Yule. And that is when the sun is at its weakest. That's when the sun dies, and then comes back to life, rises once more 3 days later. Sound familiar? The sun dies and rises again 3 days later. This is a solar event in which we pagans recognize the return of the light. You might have noticed recently that it has been getting darker and darker outside, earlier and earlier and for longer. Rather than this being the equinox, of which there are two throughout the year, there's the autumn equinox and then there's the spring equinox. Both of those dates, there's equal amounts of daylight and darkness. On the winter solstice, there is a greater portion of darkness. But after we go through that darkness and we rest for 3 days, the sun returns. So after the 23rd, you will begin to see more and more daylight throughout the day, at least in the northern hemisphere. So winter is almost upon us. The winter solstice also marks the beginning of winter, the official beginning of winter. Believe it or not, even though there's snow on the ground behind me, this isn't winter yet. This is still technically autumn. But the 21st, the winter solstice, marks the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere. So we've covered what the solstice is, but what we haven't covered is its significance. So like I said before, and as many of you might know, I am a pagan. And what that means for us during the solstice is this is a celebration known as Yule. All right, hairs in my mouth. This is a cute haircut, but it gets in my mouth. Okay, so being a pagan, what does that mean for us? The winter solstice is also known as Yule. For Christians, you have Christmas, which is the celebration of the birth of Christ. For my Jewish friends out there, you have Hanukkah, which is the celebration of the candle burning longer than we thought, for 8 whole nights. You have the principles of Kwanzaa for pagans. You have Yule. Yule is the winter solstice. It is a time when we recognize the turning of the wheel once more, the wheel of the year. So Yule is the first big holiday, of which there are 8, the first big holiday of the pagan year. Samhain, Halloween, was the New Year, was New Year's for pagans, but now we're into Yule, and this is our kind of winter festival. Things that you can do to celebrate Yule, one of the things that I recommend is going out in nature. Even though it is cold out, it is important to recognize that just because it's cold outside, humans are not removed from winter. We are not removed from the natural world. Go outside and feel the cold. Now, keep yourself safe, keep yourself healthy. Go outside, take a brisk walk, breathe in the cold winter air. Know that you are a part of this earth. You're a part of nature. That's the first thing that you can do for Yule, especially if you're in the broom closet. If you haven't come out as pagan to any of your friends, go for a walk. Go for a walk on the solstice. Just get outside and enjoy the coldness. So Yule is all about this dichotomy between darkness and the light. Some of the things that you could do is light a candle. You can light a Yule log. A Yule log is a special log. Usually it is the last log unburnt from the previous year's fire. That's what a Yule log is. But you can also go out, collect some scrap wood, collect a fallen branch. Don't cut it off of a tree. Accept a gift that was given. Don't take it from nature. Find a fallen branch and you can go ahead and clean it up, decorate it, put it on your altar, put some candles on it, melt some candles on it. And then that can be your Yule log. You can burn the candles rather than burning the wood. So that's something you could do. Light some candles, burn a Yule log. Please do all this safely. I myself, this winter solstice, will be dedicating myself to a new deity, one that I've been compelled to get in contact with. I have in the past worked with Aphrodite to learn about self-love and community. And then I worked with Lilith to learn how to be strong and to protect those around me. This time, I am going to be dedicating myself to Hecate, the goddess of the crossroads, the torchbearer, the key holder, the one before the gate. Hecate has been on my mind heavily lately. So this winter solstice, I'm going to be doing a dedication ritual, offering myself as dedicant to the triple goddess. I have shied away from Hecate in the past. I've felt her like call me or drop hints, kind of ran away from it because I know that she's a serious deal. She's very powerful, very potent, and I didn't want to do anything to disgrace her. And I was also afraid of her power. But I am definitely getting the message that she is who I need to be working with now. And I am ready to do that. I'm not going to run anymore. I'm not going to run from anything anymore. I want the goddess to connect with me. And I want her to remove the obstacles in my life that are still present. I have done a great deal of work already to remove obstacles from my life over the past couple of years. I've done a great deal to remove the obstacles from my life, but I believe that Hecate can help me far, far more than anything I was able to do alone. Aphrodite taught me about self-love and community, taught me to love myself and be true to myself, and taught me to look after others. Lilith taught me to stay strong, to deal with things, to turn the other cheek and not let people push me around anymore, to stand up for myself. Hecate is about unlocking the door, removing obstacles. She is the light bearer, she is the torch bearer, and in order for me to evolve, I have to contact her next. And I want to make sure that I do this in the right way. So, because she is a liminal god, that is a god in between different spaces, like liminal spaces, gateways, thresholds, cemeteries, crossroads, that kind of thing. I'm going to be doing this on the winter solstice, where there is a big shift. I'm going to be doing this on Yule. There's a shift from the darkness to the light. I feel that's fitting for Hecate. And that's one of the things that you can do is you can dedicate yourself to a deity. You can dedicate yourself to a practice. Well, I hope that no matter where you are in the world and whatever your practice is, that you have a wonderful winter and that you enjoy the celebration of the renewal of light. Renewal of light touches on pretty much all the major religions at this time. It is a common thread among all of them. Thank you all very much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Please join me again next week. Bye.